Hi students, so today we are going to learn next topic, that is topic number 4 from the paper 2. So in the 10th standard science paper number 2, in that lesson number 4 is there, and that fourth lesson is there, that one is there, environmental management. So many concepts from the 4th standard, 5th standard up to 9th standard you have studied, and that concepts are there, these are useful in this lesson. So initially some questions are asked in the textbook, and that questions are related with your previous knowledge, so in that questions, if you have studied before this all these concepts properly, then you can understand this lesson easily. This lesson is very easy, and we'll start this lesson. So in that first question is there, what is ecosystem, and which are the different components of ecosystem? So for understanding ecosystem, different concept you should know. In 4th standard you have studied what do you mean by environment. Again after that afterwards 5th standard up to the 9th standard you have studied food chain, food web, producers, consumers, herbivores, carnivores. So different trophic levels also you have studied. So we'll start this lesson, and in that question wise we'll go, and their explanation we are going to learn. We'll take that explanation. In that first question is there, what is ecosystem and which are its different components? So what are the components of ecosystem? So in that different points are there in the ecosystem. Some living organisms are there, non-living organisms are present in our surrounding. Living things are there, these are called as biotic. Non-living things are there, these are called as abiotic things. Again different producers are there, consumers are there, herbivores are there, carnivores are there, different food chains are there, and different food webs are there. So these concepts collectively we are going to study in this lesson, and after that we are going to study why it is important to do the management of the environment, to maintain the environmental balance, why it is important. So first thing, ecosystem is basic functional unit which is used to study the ecology. So ecosystem, first thing is the ecosystem. So in that ecosystem, what is ecosystem? Ecosystem is the basic functional unit of that particular bio to study the ecology. Now question will arise, what is meant by ecology? So first thing, it is clear that a fundamental unit is there, functional unit is there, and that unit is used to study the ecology. And in that, now we'll see what is meant by ecology. And ecology is the branch of science, or it is the science which deals with the interactions between living and non-living factors, biotic and abiotic factors present in the environment. So what is meant by ecology? Ecology is the branch of science, or it is the science that deals with the study of. So it is studying interactions between biotic and abiotic factors present in the environment, living and non-living things present in the environment. Next point is there. So first thing, ecosystem we have seen. After that ecology also we have seen. After that ecology. So ecosystem, then ecology, and after that ecology we have studied ecology, but next concept will come environment. That one you have studied before this also. Environment. So environment. in that environment. So which things are present in the environment? What do you mean by environment? Again, this concept is coming. So environment is our surrounding. The simple thing is there, environment is our surrounding. Whatever things are present in our surrounding, these are coming into the environment. So another specific definition is there of the environment, and that definition is there: physical, chemical and biological factors. What is the environment? Physical, chemical and biological factors, and which are affecting on the life of living organisms. These are affecting on the life of the living organisms in any possible way. It is called as a environment. So what is the environment? It is the physical, chemical and biological factors which are affecting on the life of the living organisms, or on the living organisms in any way, any possible way. It is called as an environment. So in that environment, again, different ecosystems are present. In that environment, again, different ecosystems are present. Suppose pond ecosystem is there, lake ecosystem is there, desert ecosystem is there, grassland ecosystem is there, again forest ecosystem is there. So many ecosystems are present. So these ecosystems, in that we have studied, it is basic functional unit which is used to study the ecology. So after that, next thing is there, example will take pond is small ecosystem and earth is largest ecosystem. Earth is largest ecosystem. So in that 6 point is there. In that 6 point, in that environment, there are two types of factors. Which factors are there? Living factors, that is biotic factors are there, and non-living factor, that is abiotic factors are there. So definition of that particular environment will take. Another specific definition of that particular ecosystem will take ecosystems. So biotic and abiotic factors. What is the ecosystem? Biotic and abiotic factors occupying the definite geographical area. Biotic and abiotic factors occupying definite geographical area, and their interactions collectively called as ecosystem. So what is meant by ecosystem? Biological and or biotic and abiotic factors which are occupying specific geographical area, and their interactions in which field these are studied, it is called as ecosystem. And the 7th point is there, ecosystem is consisting of, in that ecosystem, different things are present. So it is consisting of different food chains. In that food chain, again, different factors will come. Living, biotic, in that different factors are there. Which are these? This one, in that producers are there, consumers are there, predators are there. Okay, so these points again we are studying detail. So in case of the ecosystem, in that also biotic factors, and in that biotic factor producers are there. Which are the producers? That plants are producers, grass and all plants, these are the producers. After that, herbivores are there. Herbivores which are feeding on that particular producers, which are feeding on the plants. After that, predators are there, or consumers you can say. So what is the role of that particular predators? Predators are controlling overpopulation of herbivores. Suppose herbivores will increase in more number, then plants will decrease. So there is need to control the population of the herbivores. So each and every factor in the ecosystem, it is playing important role to maintain the balance of the ecosystem, or maintain the balance of the environment. So another things are there, caterpillars, then termites, some insects are found in the cow dung. Again, these are also important. Some insects, some microorganisms, these are found in the dirty places. are they important for us? So these factors, these are caterpillars are there, termites are there, insect present in the dungs, then are different bacteria, microorganisms, decomposers. These are also important for us. Why they are important? Because they are helping to clean the environment. They are helping to clean the environment. Another thing is there. In case of the ecosystem, or what you can say, last final statements, you can say our total existence, our existence is due to these different components, these different factors which are present around us. So we are living, and our total life or our existence only, it is depending upon our surrounding, and we are living things will depend on non-living things. So there is interaction between living and non-living thing. So one thing we should remember, and that one is there, jivo jivasya jivanam. Next thing is there, jivo jivasya jivanam. That means live and let to live, live and let to live. So in case of ecosystem, we'll take different points in that. First point is there, ecosystem is a functional unit, or what you can say, basic functional unit used to study the ecology. So ecosystem is a basic, ecosystem is a basic functional unit used to study the ecology. Second point will be there, related with ecology. So what is ecology? The science which deals with the study of interaction between biotic and abiotic factors present in the environment. The science which deals with the study of interactions between biotic and abiotic factors present in the environment, is called ecosystem, is called ecology. It is called as a ecology. So third point is there. In case of third point, it will be related to the environment. So environment, in that first one is there, simply you can say our surrounding is called environment. Second definition is there, physical, chemical and biological factors affecting on the living organisms in any possible way. The physical, chemical and biological factors affecting on the living organisms in any possible ways is called environment. So in that environment, physical, chemical and biological factors are there. Environment, in that physical, chemical and biological factors are there. So fourth point is there. In that fourth point, environment consists of many ecosystems. Environment is made up of many ecosystems. It is made up of many ecosystems. In that example is there, pond is smallest ecosystem, and earth is largest ecosystem. Earth is largest ecosystem. So fifth point is there. In that fifth point, environment, in that which factors are present? Which factors are present? In that we have studied in the environment, biotic and abiotic factors are present. Next thing is that in case of the fifth point, we can write definition of ecosystem. In the fifth point, we write definition of ecosystem. So definition of ecosystem in that. So biotic and abiotic factors occupying a definite geographical area. Biotic and abiotic factors occupying definite geographical area. Occupying definite geographical area and their interactions Biotic and abiotic factors occupying definite geographical area and their interactions is collectively called ecosystem. So what is ecosystem? Ecosystem is the biotic and abiotic factors present in the environment and there, or that in a definite geographical area, in a fixed area, which are biotic and abiotic components present and their interaction, it is called as ecosystem. In that again, sixth point is there. In that sixth point, ecosystem consists of many food chains. Ecosystem consists of many organisms, and that producers are there. In that grass is there, different plants are there, trees. Second one is there, herbivores are there, goat, cow, grasshopper. Again what you can say, predators or consumers also you can say. Consumers, predators, consumers. In that lions, tigers will be there. And at last there will be decomposers. There are decomposers. So in that decomposers, bacteria are there, microbes are there. Okay, so these are the ecosystem consists of many organisms. In that producers are there, grass plants are there, herbivores are there, predators, in that consumers are there, And predators are important. They are controlling population of herbivores. So predators, if number of predator will increase, or if predators will be less, herbivores will increase. If herbivores will increase, they will affect on the producers. So to maintain the balance in the environment, these each and every factor in the environment is playing important role. Each and every factor in the ecosystem plays important role. These are the 6 point. 7th point I will write here. So in case of 7th point, each and every factor in the environment or ecosystem plays important role. 7 point, each factor in the environment plays important role. Example, predators helps to control population of herbivores. Second thing is that caterpillar, termites, insects, caterpillars, termites, insects in cow dung, and insects present in filthy places, filthy, dirty places plays important role to clean the environment. So important thing is that in the ecosystem, each and every factor is important. Each and every factor present in the ecosystem is important. So we should take care of others, or we should take care of all the factors of the environment. We should take care of all the factors of environment to maintain the balance of the environment. And finally, what we can say, final point will be there. We should take care of each factors in the environment. Finally, you can say जीवस्य जीवनम. जीवस्य, or like this way, जीवस्य जीवनम. जीवस्य जीवनम. That means live and like to live. So these are the important factors of the environment, or in case of the ecosystem. So one by one these points we are going to study. So I think you might have understood what do you mean by ecosystem and which points are there in the ecosystem. So next thing is there, next question is asked in the textbook is there, and that question is there, what are the consumers, what are the different types of consumers, what is the criteria for the classification of consumers. So this question we are going to take, and that these things you have studied before this. So next point is there, consumers, related to the consumers. Next question is there only related to the consumers. In that question is that second, what are the consumers? What are their types and criteria? What is the criteria used for their classification? For their classification. So, in case of the consumers, so we are knowing these consumers, these are present in the food chain. So what is meant by consumers? Consumers are the organisms. Consumers are the living organisms which feed upon herbivores or other carnivores. So consumers, the organisms in the food chain, organisms in the food chain which feeds upon herbivores or another carnivores are called consumers, and their types. So consumers are classified based on food they eat. So how these criteria, what is the criteria for the classifying the consumers? That criteria is there on which food they are eating. So based on that one, consumers are classified, and in that types are there. First one is there in the types. First one is there herbivores. So organisms, consumers means these are the organisms present in the food chain which feeds upon herbivores or other carnivores or other living organisms. Other carnivores or other living organisms are called as consumers. Herbivores. So in that, these are eating on, they eat plants. Herbivores, they eat plants. Example is there goat and a cow. Buffalo is there also. Then second one is there carnivores. Carnivores, they are eating on herbivores and some other carnivores. Carnivores feed on herbivores. Feed on herbivores and some other carnivores. Some other carnivores. An example in this is that you can take example of the crow, or you can take example of the lion tiger. You can take example of the lion tiger. So next thing is the third point is the herbivores, carnivores, then omnivores. Next one is the omnivores. Which are the omnivores? They feed upon. This information you are knowing from first. So omnivores are the living organisms which feed upon herbivores as well as carnivores. That means they feed upon both plants as well as animals. They feed upon both plants and animals. Feed on both plants and animals. These are called as omnivores. Example is there crow. again human beings are also there. Human beings. Fourth type is there decomposers, and they depend upon decomposers. So the organisms which depends upon or which feed upon dead and decaying organisms, these are called as the decomposers. Feed upon dead and decaying organic matter. And an example is there in case of this one, mushroom is there, fungus is there, and third one is there vultures also. So this is the classification of that particular consumers, and which feed upon herbivores or other, and feed upon, you can say here, feed upon other living organisms. You can use word here. Feed upon herbivores, carnivores, or other living organisms. It is called as a carnivores or consumers are there. Okay, so consumers in that classification you have understood. Then one thing we'll take one more time. Herbivores, these are the living organisms which feed upon the plants. Producer, these are called as a herbivores. Goat, cow, these are the herbivores. Carnivores, so for these the living organism which feed upon the herbivores and some other carnivores, these are called as a carnivores. Lion, tiger, wolf is there. Then omnivores, these are living organisms which feed upon both plants as well as animals. In that crow and human beings are decomposers. They are feeding upon dead and decaying organic matter. So in that mushroom, fungus, and vulture are there. After consumer, next question is there, and that question is related with one bird, and that question is there, what may be the relationship between leg bird present on the tree. So question is there, what may be relationship between leg and a bird on the tree. So, and what it suggests. So important thing is there. So suppose you will see the explanation of this one. One bird is there and it is making nest on that particular tree. That birds are making nest on the tree. So, and that bird is feeding on the fish. Present in the lake. Second thing is there, bird is consuming whatever worms are present, small insects are present on that particular tree. On that insect also that bird is feeding. So bird is part of both ecosystem. One is smallest ecosystem is there of the pond, another ecosystem is there of the tree. So bird is the part of the tree, ecosystem of the tree, part of the ecosystem of tree, and another one is the pond ecosystem. Another thing is there. So from this we can conclude that one organism may be involved, or it may be involved into the two or more ecosystems. So what is from this, what you can say? So bird makes nest on tree and feeds upon fishes in the lake. Second thing is there. Again, bird consumes worms and insects present on the tree. Third point is that what you can say, bird is part of both ecosystem. Bird is part of both ecosystems, that is tree and lake. Tree and lake. And fourth one is there, what you can say, it means organisms. One organism is involved into the two or more ecosystem. That means thus one organism may be part of two or more ecosystems. Two or more ecosystems. It may be part of two or more ecosystems. So again, next question is there, and that next question is related to the food chain and food web. So that explanation also I am going to give, food chain and food web. So next question is there, what is the difference between food chain and food web? What is the question and difference between food chain and food web? So that concept also it should be clear. So in that difference between so this side will take a food chain, that side will take food web. Food chain and food web. So in case of the food chain and in case of the food web, which points are there? So first point is there, what do you mean by food chain? Food chain is the series of organisms, series of the organism feeding upon one another, series of the organisms which are feeding on one another. So organisms, living organisms, and they depend upon another living organism for the food. It is called as a food chain. Again, in case of the food web, in that interconnecting or interconnection between different food chains. If different food chains are interconnected together, then you are saying it is food web. Second point, in case of the food chain is there, members of a higher trophic level depends on the lower trophic level. In case of the food chain, members of the higher trophic level depends upon single members of the lower single type of or same type of lower trophic levels. So what is meant by trophic level? You will take example, grasshopper, frog, snake, vulture, and what you can say, mushroom is there. So in this, each step is called as a trophic level. So do you understand what I mean by trophic level? Trophic level means each step in the food chain, it is called as a trophic level. So in that, what you can say, members of the higher trophic level depends upon single type of the lower trophic levels, the single type of the lower type of organisms. And second point is there, higher, in case of the food web, higher trophic level organisms feed upon different or many kinds of lower organisms or lower trophic level organisms. And third point is, in the food chain is there may be 4 to 6 trophic levels may be there, and in case of the food web there may be number of trophic levels. And in a food chain, if a lower trophic level, their number will decrease, then there will be starvation. That means higher trophic level organism, they will not get food, they will die without food. And in case of the food web, there is no starvation. Okay, as these are depending, it will help to increase the population. So in that first point is the food chain, the series of organisms in the food chain. Series of organisms feeding on one another, feeding on one another is called food chain. And here in case of the food webs, interlinking of many food chains, interlinking of many food chains forms food web. Many food chains will get interconnected, then it will form food web. Second point is there. In that second point, members of the higher trophic level depends on single type of lower trophic organisms. So members of higher trophic level depends upon members of single type of organisms of lower trophic level. So here, so members of higher trophic level, members of higher trophic level depends upon many organisms of lower trophic level, lower trophic level. Third point, what you can say, there are near about 4 to 6 trophic levels. There are 4 to 6 trophic levels, and here there are many trophic levels. So fourth one is there. Starvation may occur if lower members decreases. Starvation occurs if number of lower organisms decreases. And the fourth point is there. There is no starvation. There is no starvation of organisms. It helps to increase population. So what is meaning of starvation? Starvation means in that condition they will not get food. Suppose here lower members will die, their number will decrease, then a starvation will take place. Higher members will not get food, so they will die without food. It is called as a starvation. Here different food chains are connected. So suppose one food chain is collapsed, another food chain is there. So here members of population will go on increasing. So after this, next point is there. One picture is given in the textbook, and in that it is said to write, type and Then you have to write the name of the thing and its type you have to tell. So we'll take that one also. In that one food chain is given, and that one food chain is given, and that food chain in the different organisms are shown, and their role you have to write. Their role you have to write. So simply we'll draw that food chain. Suppose diagram is like that. Here grass is there. After that here grasshopper is there. Grasshopper is there. After grasshopper frog is there. After frog snake is there. After snake vulture is there. Vulture eagle also is there, and then decomposers, or what you can say here, suppose mushroom is there, mushroom, or fungus is there, fungus. Okay, so what is their role? So that one we have to write. In this diagram, grass is organism and it is producer. That organism is producer. Second one is there grasshopper. Grasshopper. What is the role of grasshopper? Herbivore is there. Herbivores. Third one is there frog. Frog is there. What you can say in case of the frog? So frog is second consumer. So this one is the primary consumer. Primary consumer. Herbivore is the primary consumer. Then here frog is there. Frog. What you can say? It is carnivore or secondary consumer. Secondary consumer. Then next one is there snake. Snake is there. It is also carnivore. Carnivore which feed on secondary consumer. This one is the tertiary consumer. And the fifth one is there vulture. Vulture, and that one is there, what you can say, tertiary, and after that quaternary. You can say quaternary. Apex consumer, and you can say quaternary consumer. Quaternary consumer. And the last one is there, and that one is there mushroom or fungus will be there. Then it is decomposer. So they are having role. Each and every one is having role. So next thing is there, 2 questions are asked there, and that one is there, can you tell in that what are the different trophic levels in the food chain? What are the different trophic levels in the food chain? So suppose this one is one food chain. Suppose this one is one food chain. This one is the food chain. So in that food chain, different trophic level. Each step in the food chain is called as a trophic level. So this one is first trophic level, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Like this way, these are the trophic levels. And in that, which trophic levels or steps are there? Producer, then consumers in that, primary, secondary, tertiary, and apex are there. Primary, secondary, tertiary, and apex consumers are there. And at last decomposers are there. At last decomposers. So like this way, 4 to 6 steps are there in the food chain, or 4 to 6 trophic levels. These are the trophic levels only. These are trophic levels. And another thing is the next question is what is energy pyramid? What is energy pyramid? So energy pyramid in a 9th standard or before that also you have studied how that energy is transferred, from lower organism to higher organism. So sun is the ultimate source of energy. From that sun, producers are taking energy. That energy is passing to the next consumers like this way, and energy transformation takes place. And this energy distribution from one organism to another organism, it is called as a energy pyramid. It is called as energy pyramid. So definition of energy pyramid we will take. So what is energy pyramid? Before this also you might have studied how that energy transferred from one organism to another organism, from producers to consumers. So next concept is the energy pyramid. Energy pyramid. So in that energy pyramid, pattern of exchange of energy in an ecosystem is called as energy pyramid. Pattern of exchange of energy. Pattern of exchange of energy in an ecosystem. Is called energy pyramid. So way of transfer of energy also you can say. A way of transfer of energy in an ecosystem is called energy pyramid. So energy pyramid is like this way. So what you can say, suppose here phytoplanktons are there. Phytoplanktons. Here are zooplanktons. Then here fish is there, and here human is there. So phytoplanktons, these are the herbs or some plants, small plants present in the water. Then zooplanktons, these zooplanktons feed upon phytoplanktons, small organisms. That small organisms are eaten by fish. That fish is eaten by human beings. So energy is transferred from lower level to upper level. But how that energy is transferred? Here more energy is there. As you are going up upper side in the pyramid, energy level goes on decreasing. Suppose here 10 kilocalorie may be there. Here maybe 100 kilocalories. Suppose here 1000 kilocalorie, and here more than 1000. Suppose here, okay, we will take here 10 kilocalorie, then 100 kilocalorie, and here 1000 kilocalorie. So like this way energy transformation takes place. 10, 100, and here 1000. So energy is more, energy goes on decreasing. So it is applicable for all living organisms. And as you are going upper side, energy level goes on decreasing. Okay, so phytoplankton, zooplankton, fish and human beings. So energy level goes on decreasing. It is called energy pyramid.